Welcome to an extraordinarily special episode of the Azani analysis. Today we're discussing a few leaked images that originally came from the website lekmer.dk. Lekmer.dk. DK is the TLD, that's top level domain code for Denmark. Notably, where LEGO is headquartered. These images have, to my knowledge, only been around for about a day or so, and likely even less than that. By the time that Google had crawled them, and by the time that I saw them, Google was saying that they had been around for about, according to their search engine when they had been updated, they had been around for about 4 hours. So that was about 12 hours ago, and I've been doing a lot of compiling and a lot of research and looking into this sort of thing. But that being what it is, I'm psyched, guys, to bring you today the first coverage of the finalized promotional images of the LEGO Star Wars 2017 Fall The Last Jedi sets. Let's jump right in. First up is set number 75176, Resistance Transport Pod. This looks like a relatively compact set with a decent number of features packed into a relatively small, at least decently small, ship. 3 minifigures are included, which are Rose Tico, played by Kylo Marie Tran, new character, Finn, and BB-8. And overall, they look like relatively high-quality minifigures that are decently printed and new and nice to see, at least in some capacity. BB-8 has some functions to the ship as well as the flick-fire missiles and the small sled-shooter missiles, and in general the ship looks again relatively compact but also relatively detailed with a lot of different colored parts, some orange, some white, some blay, that's bluish-gray, all that jazz, and a little bit of yellow. Additionally, the ship looks as though it's relatively smooth and, curved, which is nice and tough to do with a small ship. So overall that's ideal to see and fantastic. Additionally, one more thing really quick to mention is that the ship includes a canopy piece that may be used in future sets and likely has a number of practical applications that will be seen outside of this set. Plunging right into the mid sets, we have First Order Heavy Scoutwalker, set number 75177. What we're looking at here is a bizarre set. By the way, not First Order Heavy Scoutwalker, that is a totally different thing that's coming up in just a minute. Somewhat bizarre set that includes, just to get this out of the way really quick, 4 minifigures, a General Hux, a Flame Trooper, a generic First Order officer of some kind, and what appears to be some sort of identified Resistance personnel. I apologize if she has a name, if she totally does. I am 100% forgetting it, and I will mention it in the description once I figure it out, if it exists. Regardless, we have a very complex set here, and a sort of very unseemly, very ungainly looking set, at least at first glance, that hopefully does translate better in real life. It appears to kind of use a Technic-based function to have not really the legs, but the wheels go up and down and sort of, gyrate as the set is rolled forward on a small set of Technic wheels. Again, also we have flick-fire missiles. LEGO just loves these, they really do. A relatively decently packed set for 4 minifigs, and will probably be somewhere in the $50 or $60 price range. There are prices for these, I do not recall what they are off the top of my head though. Funny as it is, at least one notable comparison has been made between this set, the photos that we see on the preliminary level that is of this set, and another pop culture icon, the Strand Beast. A giant toy. Teo Johnson, creator of the Strand Beast, please be alright with that comparison. Hopefully the Strand Beast will finally be able to get some cred and reap the rewards of its long trek across the desert sands, now that it's gained a little press in the form of a very small, but very creative LEGO toy. Anyways, right here we have set number 75179, Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter. Looks to be a, not only obviously a decently sized set, but also, a very kind of well-hewn, well-defined set with a lot of different small moving parts, including some Technic used to hold together the wings, and a little bit of, along with flick-fire missiles, some nice kind of ratchet joint, small ratchet joint, faux missile attachments on the tips of the wings, which are a nice touch. Again, likely $90 to $100 set. 4 minifigs are included. We have Kylo Ren, of course, maskless, excellent. Or helmetless, I should say. We have a Stormtrooper, Stern Stormtrooper. He's carrying an entire flick-fire missile bullet as his weapon of choice, like an entire laser beam in his hands. You can see it, the 5th picture that I have in the video, maybe the 6th. Additionally, we have a Elite TIE Fighter pilot, which is being translated into a buildable figure this wave as well. I'll be getting to that very soon within our video. And finally, we have a black BB unit, the quote-unquote evil BB-8. One thing that we can tell from this set of pictures that it was a little hard to tell before is that the evil BB unit has kind of a print on the center, or on his body, sort of akin to Kylo Ren's mask. It's kind of cool. Maybe he made himself, who knows. Plot leaks abound. And again, I mean, the jury's still out here as to whether or not it's a decently well-constructed set. I mean, overall, it looks alright. It's a TIE fighter. It's a little tough to do a lot of things with the TIE fighter because, you know, it's a TIE fighter and we've seen a lot of them over the years. But hey, even though it's a little blocky, even though it uses a lot of dark bluish gray and not a lot of other gray, it's still an alright set, and I wouldn't pick it up, but if you're interested, so be it. Going down a slightly different row, we have 75187 buildable BB-8, which is in fact a buildable figure in the sense that it is buildable and a figure, but isn't a construction set, isn't a like ball and socket CCBS set. Just to clarify, totally is brick built, as you can see from these pictures, and there's been some confusion over that. Regardless, I got a lot of different interesting functions here. In fact, quite the selection, the sort of thing that things that you'd expect to see on a larger UCS set. Larger UCS set. You know, it looks as though if you turn certain side panels, BB-8 will pull out his little flame and flip you off. His head can rotate and that sort of such thing, which is relatively impressive if you're a small piece of plastic. Many pieces of plastic, but you know what I mean. And all in all, I think I've heard the piece count somewhere in the just barely 1,000, which is relatively impressive. So we shall see. And you know, boasting, drumroll please, one minifig, BB-8. I'm not talking about the giant brick-built figure. I'm talking about the tiny little BB-8. The spawn of BB-8 that sits on the little platform directly in front of BB-8. How cute. Turn back around a little bit for just 1 second. I'm going to be talking about 3 that I actually covered during the last Azani analysis, things that maybe have helped to you. Of course, the photos I was working off were incredibly blurry, and we're going to get a lot more out of this than we did last time, but hopefully this is still at least a little familiar, maybe something interesting to be able to listen to, / you know, kind of can compare and contrast. And nowhere is it better to compare and contrast than the 75188 Resistance Bomber. When I first saw this set, and I still kind of think this a little bit, but I was frankly kind of shocked at how horrible I thought it was, and I do think it's not that great still, but I mean, it's partially redeemed itself in my eyes, you know, considering the fact that it's a very bizarre shape that would never be practical in real life. It stands up on its own, which is kind of the point of Lego, right? Unless there's been some sort of weird photo voodoo to make it look like it stands up on its own. It has several functions, it fires projectiles, and overall it looks like a nice kid's toy that I enjoy swooshing or something. And overall, you know, they did a pretty good job selling this one. I mean, the backgrounds look fantastic. I don't usually comment on the art behind the set, but the art is pretty good. And the one thing that continues to be the biggest flaw with this set that really gets carried over is the fact that it's relatively homogeneous in how its color is laid out. I mean, it does have several colors, but essentially has like a large blue block at the bottom, a big blue stripe at the top, and a big gray section in the middle, which is bizarre and sort of gross looking, but you know, we work with it. And there's the flick fire missiles. I mean, just stop using flick fire missiles, man. We see them all the time. Just to go over really quick, we have a total of 5 minifigs in this set, and it comes out to Captain Poe Dameron. He's been promoted, as I mentioned last time. This is still pretty impressive. I guess I just didn't expect him to be promoted. What can I say? Several Resistance figures, who I do not know the names of, if they even have names. And then the one in gray with the purple hair, Admiral Holdo. I'm pretty sure it's Admiral, not Captain. She is very distinct looking, and hopefully she has a decent role in the film. Jumping right in, we have a very peculiar looking set as far as minifigs go. There isn't actually a sheet here, so I'm just going to read them off. We have Rey. We have a Resistance personnel who is unnamed again. We have Poe Dameron. We have a standard stormtrooper, and we have the incredible snowtrooper. Bravely vying for the spot of most impressive head to the wave, although probably not going to get it. It is set number 75189, first order heavy assault walker. Not a lot of pictures here, I just wanted to get this out of the way really quick. It's an average assault walker, and it's just essentially like a AT-AT with a lot of space for minifigs to hide. That's that. And we're here to finish things up. We have 75190 first order Star Destroyer. Now, for the most part, this is a pretty standard Star Destroyer. Wait, nope, it's not. It's not at all. It opens up in the middle to reveal an elevator. It has stud shooters on the outside. It uses, this isn't as big of a deal, but it uses those small blue pedal pieces in the back in order to simulate the idea of the engines. This is a fascinatingly unusual Star Destroyer, and I'm quite a fan, to be honest. I would be interested in buying it if it didn't cost $150 in the US. So I guess that's nice to know for anyone who's interested. Interestingly enough, this is a set that includes Snoke. Now, Snoke has, of course, been under some significant scrutiny recently because no one knows anything about him. And to clarify, I'm 99.999% sure that the hologram that he is, nearly 100% certain about that. And I mean, I'm only basing this off the fact this is a man with a hood. A man with a hood. The only man with a hood in all of Star Wars. No, but seriously, I mean, it could be someone else. But hey, thank you so much, everyone, for being able to listen. Appreciate it quite a bit. This is Azani, signing out.